In today's video, I'm going to take one of the most popular decks on the best of one ladder out for a spin to see what makes it work. Alright, full disclosure right off the hop, been a little bit sick for like the last 3 or 4 days. This cold has been quite persistent, and I still want to keep to this recording schedule of 3 videos a week, so I am going to put something out. But I'm not in the mood to think or be creative, so I thought the best approach to handling that is to play Simulacrum Synthesizer deck, the deck that everybody has encountered once or twice on the best of one ladder, probably at least a couple dozen times, in fact. It's all over the place, and it's very powerful. Now, it's not the most creative or interesting deck, but it is a very powerful deck. It got a lot of new toys from Edge of Eternities, and I think it's always important to try out these best decks to see how they really work under the hood, what makes them powerful, and that'll give you a better idea of how to approach these matchups in future games. So, if you don't know what the Simulacrum Synthesizer is, it is a 3 CMC artifact. It scries 2 when it enters the battlefield. Then it says whenever another artifact you control with mana value 3 or greater enters the battlefield, you create a 0/0 colorless construct. What does that construct say? I should move it over here. The construct says this token gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. You've faced this deck before. They have the synthesizer out on the field. They play out one artifact, and then before you know it, they have 5 10/10s slamming you in the face, right? That's what the deck wants to do. The other key part of the deck is the Repurposing Bay, another 3 CMC artifact. It triggers the synthesizer, and then it has a 2 CMC tap ability. Sacrifice another artifact, search your library for an artifact with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice artifact's mana value, put that onto the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. So, what makes this deck function? We have our utility cards over here, we have our removal, and we have our main core in the synthesizer and the repurposing bay. For our utility cards, Clay Fired Bricks goes and gets us a Plains card, then we sacrifice it to get one of our 3 CMC cards, which will be Perilous Snare, Braided Nets, Pinnacle Star Cage, don't know why I skipped over it, and then one of these Simulacrum Synthesizer or Repurposing Bay. They're all 3 CMC. You can sacrifice any of these 2 CMC artifacts to go and get one of those cards. We'll go back to those in a minute. Spring-loaded Saw Blades, 4 of, flash, when it enters, deal 5 damage to a tapped creature an opponent controls. It also has a craft with artifact side. This one does as well. I've never used the kiln side of this, and I don't think I ever will, so who cares about it. The Blade Wheel Chariot, another one, never used it, probably never going to use it. These things are sack fodder. Cryogen Relic is a new card from Edge of Eternities. It enters, draw a card. When it goes away from the battlefield, you draw a card. So you double dip when you sacrifice this to go and get something better. Just a fantastic card. You can also sacrifice it on its own to put a stun counter on something if you're in a tight spot. United Battlefront is our collected company. We get to look at the top 7 cards of our library and put 2 non-creature, non-land cards, permanents from those. So essentially we play United Battlefront on turn 4, and we can, put out our best cards. Sometimes it's going to be 2 Simulacrums, sometimes it's going to be a Simulacrum and a Repurposing Bay, whatever it is. It's just a fantastic card. You've seen them play it on turn 4, and it's probably beat you. And then the Fire Crystal is a very interesting card because this, we can't actually cast. I guess we could cast it if we have 2 starting towns on the field. We could technically cast it, but for the most part, you're not going to be casting the Fire Crystal. It is double red. It says, creatures you control have haste. The idea here is that if you're in a position where you have a 3 CMC artifact on the battlefield that you don't necessarily need anymore, you have enough of these constructs on the field, you can use the Repurposing Bay to sacrifice that 3 CMC artifact, go and grab the Fire Crystal, and win the game. I'm sure we'll see it. It is a very powerful way to finish these matches. Then we have this column. This column is our interaction. Perilous Snare it just exiles something, right? Exiles target non-land permanent. Easy peasy. Pinnacle Star Cage, you all know this card, you hate it. Any 2 mana value artifact or creature gets exiled with the Star Cage. Braided Net enters, and we can keep tapping down their non-land permanents. We're going to be tapping down creatures for the most part. And that is the deck. Of course, there are some lands. The only mentionable one is probably the Windswept Bastion. I'll move it over a little bit. It has Station on it, so we can get it up to 12, and then we can create a token copy that's legendary of an artifact or enchantment that we control. It's pretty neat. I've used it before to copy my synthesizer to just get another synthesizer on the deck. Cool. That's it. Jeskai Artifacts will plow through some games, see if my brain holds up through this cold, see if my throat holds up, and hopefully it goes well. Wish me luck. Jump into some games. Okie dokie, a little bit of Jeskai Artifact action. I didn't say it in the intro, but I meant to. Jeskai Artifacts currently on the best of one ladder between Diamond and Mythic at a 10.9 popularity. The highest popularity deck on the ladder, just a little bit ahead of Mono White Life Gain at 10.5 and Boros Burn at 9.2. That being said, it doesn't have the highest win rate. Dimir Midrange has a slightly higher overall win rate amongst all the variants of Dimir Midrange. Jeskai Artifacts at 55.5 though, so it's doing fine. The Unstoppable Slasher is a pretty cool card. So, I guess in this case we'll throw out the planes, and then I kind of have a choice. I could take a hit from the Unstoppable Slasher. If they have the Bloodletter, though, I die next turn, so I can't be fooled. I was going to say, let's take a hit. Let's go down to 8 or whatever it would be. I guess it would be 10 in this case because I gained 2 life. I'm going to hit it with the Saw Blades. We'll put out our 2 CMC. We'll save the Perilous Snare for future scary things like a Bloodletter of Aclazotz. So they did have the Aclazotz. Glad I started thinking for a minute. We'll just get rid of that. Hopefully slow them down enough that we can kill them in a couple of turns. I don't have Repurposing Bay. This deck functions a lot better when you have a Repurposing Bay. I can tell you that much, obviously. Simulacrum Synthesizer is going to be okay, though. We have a couple of turns to, sit around with the Unstoppable Slasher stunned a little bit. We're going to take 4 damage here. That's okay. See what their follow-up is. Ooh, okay. Taking a little bit more damage. Another 4 from the Bloodletter, doubling up. So that is a problem. I could... Can they kill me next turn? I don't think so. I kind of want to go with the Synthesizer and try to set up something. But I could also just play it safe, Perilous Snare, hit the Bloodletter, and go from there. Probably that's the safer thing. Let's see what's underneath the Cryogen Relic, I think. No matter what, I'm going to be playing this out. So I'll see a draw. I only have 2 blue mana, so I am taking some damage. We hit a land. So probably it is wise to throw out the snare, take them off of a demon, make them have to find another demon. And then we get a 6/6 threat for the future. Go from there. I might have to rely on this Braided Net next turn to keep the Slasher locked down. But a little bit scared of a second... That's fine. A little bit scared of a second Bloodletter. Ooh, Demon Wall. Okay, it's only doing 2 damage. So that's fine. Okay, sure. So, Synthesizer number 2 onto the field. This is going to be pretty oppressive, I think. I think Mono Black has a really hard time just in general keeping up against the artifacts that we're putting out. I don't want either of those cards. And let's just go the Braided Net way. Down to 11. We're going to go down to 9. Potentially a little bit lower if they have a Bloodletter. But presenting a lot, and we get to tap down the Unstoppable Slasher. We'll get to tap down another blocker. Probably we'll be able to swing in for lethal with the Perilous Snare next turn, removing another one of their blockers. A second Slasher. Not a big deal. Okay, well, they're getting more blockers than I wanted them to have. I could, if they go to... I could just let them attack with the Unstoppable Slasher, right? Like, what's the word? What happens here? So I go down to 9, and then I lose half from 9 rounded up. So I'll lose 5, and then I'll go down to 2. Okay, that's fine. I think it's fine. I should lose 5, yeah, and then I'll lose another 2. And I don't think they can do another 2 points of damage here. Okay. And we Let's tap down this one. We just want to make sure the way is nice and clear for all three of these fellas to get in. What do we lose to? We lose to Fatal Push. We lose to Fatal Push. I don't think there's a 1 CMC black instant speed spell that kills a 10/10 construct, right? Am I crazy? Am I forgetting that something exists? I think it would have been fine. We could tap down both creatures, swing in for more than 30 damage because the creatures would have grown a little bit. And that's the oppressiveness of this deck, even without the repurposing bay. Mono black struggling against this. Okay, jump into game 2. I'm a little unprepared here. I was going to do another thing. Opening hand looks fine. I've been getting some really, really fantastic comments from everybody lately. Oh, do you keep it? I need another land. Man, that hurts to throw away. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna be greedy. Been getting a lot of really great comments, and I saved the one, and I was gonna bring it up and talk about it, but a bonehead, the way I saved it, I cut it off. Ooh. When you draw this card, it kind of makes things a little bit rough. But yeah, I got a comment. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen here from Brandon Little 1917, and it's just one of these comments that, man, it really blew me away. Brandon Little says, "I played Magic since the 90s, took a long break as life tends to happen." Let's keep. We'll put it away. As life tends to happen, sure. And just recently came back to Arena, and I looked at video after video after video, and after a month or so, I found one of yours, and thank you, man. You are by far my favorite creator. What? You're kidding me. Somebody's gonna come in here and say you're my favorite creator? You're making me blush here. Come on. And I hope you are all the most successful. I hope you all the most success reading comprehension. Especially when you're trying to figure out how to beat mono. Oh, it's not. It's Orzhov tokens. I've been meaning to comment since the first video, and I know it helps, so I will try to make sure to toss you one more often. I really appreciate, of course, the comment. Comments really do help. Lots of people have been commenting, and honestly, the positivity that has been coming out from the community. You know, I think a lot of people kind of look at the Magic community and they think, man, this community sometimes can be pretty rough. Everybody just complains all the time. And hey, I opened this video up with complaining about the synthesizer deck. But you gotta have some criticisms from time to time. Still, it's how you present things, I think. What was my opponent doing? Ancient Vendetta? Choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. Well, my God, this has gotta do a lot of heavy lifting. Okie dokie. So I guess we will throw out a United Battlefront. Let's do the repurposing bay and the cryogen relic. I also think I'm gonna have to use the Adalga to double up my synthesizer. I think it's probably fine to start attacking over these 1/1 rabbits just to get them out of the way. But yeah, back to the comments. Honestly, the comments have been so positive. People wishing me the best of luck, saying that they really like what I'm doing. The videos are fun. The decks are interesting. And it has been genuinely really great to see the positivity. And I really do appreciate how much support has been coming through. The channel's been growing well. It's like doubled since I returned a couple of months ago. And to see that kind of support, it's you know, it's cool. It's real cool. I shouldn't have probably played out the Clayfire bricks. I'm waffling on with things. It's fine. It's fine. What I should have done is probably saved the Adalga. I can still Adalga, I think. Can I? Yeah, I can. We can do that. It's fine. It's fine. Really need to get the simulacrum on the second simulacrum onto the field before disaster starts striking. I need to focus on this game. I want to beat this deck. Anybody who's playing, wait, what? Whoa, hold up. Sometimes you don't notice this when your opponent has 236 cards in their deck. What's happening? Let's get rid of this Cryogen Relic. We draw a land, always good. Let's go and grab Braided Net, sure. And with this construct, we'll do that. So next turn, I think we can probably win. Fingers crossed. I think we can win next turn. How much? This costs actually. No. It's gone real bad, guys. It's gone real bad. Please don't kill them. I need them. Okay. Okay. That's wild. Okay. Okay, this costs 3 mana to cast. I can't do Fire Crystal plus a Dolga. I don't have enough. So what do? I put out this. Do I put out this? And grow them? Or do I just start making constructs? I really need these constructs to survive. My god, the opponent having the requisition raid. Probably it's best just to get in for as much damage as I can. I don't think they're going to be attacking, so the Saw Blade is not really going to do much. Let's get in for 9, and then next turn, we can do a bunch of stuff. We can create another construct, assuming that our constructs are still alive, and we can tap down some stuff with Braided Nets. What do I do now? You know what it is? Oh my god. It's going to be crafting and making 1/1 golems. Alright, we got a plan. Let's craft with the synthesizer. I don't know. I'm gonna craft with this thing. Submit. There's no way to bring it back. So we get this thing. They're 2/2s with haste. That's kind of cool. That's expensive. 7 mana? Oh, okay. I can't believe the kiln. I'm pretty sure up at the top of the video, I said I've never used this card and I never will. The opponent has forced me into using the Cosmium Kiln. What a card. They also gave us a 0 mana clue, so I can't sack this with the Repurposing Bay to find my other Clayfire bricks. I need to get the other Clayfire bricks. Discovery 4. Do we get? I think we got them. I was about to say, did we get them? And that's a joke between a friend and me. I think we got them. We got them. How stupid is that? We get the golems. Getting the gnomes getting the work done. All right, keep moving. Maybe this deck is at least a little bit fun from time to time, right? Maybe it is. Okay. A little sketch. I really like having, obviously, the Clayfire bricks off the hop. It helps things out. We're against life gain, which could present a little bit of a problem for us. Do I want to take? That's fine. Yep, put it out. We're taking 1 damage no matter what here. So we'll put out the relic. We'll aim for a synthesizer on turn 2. There's our bricks. So now what we want to find is a. Repurposing Bay. I got there. So many names to remember in this game. We do not hit a Repurposing Bay, but we do hit a Cryogen Relic. Pretty good. Next turn, probably I'm going to be Star Caging. Fine. We'll keep it on top. We'll Star Cage. We'll wipe out whatever threats they have. Hopefully they put out a couple of 1-drops here. They put out a Shelter by Ghost. That's fine. It's fine. You know what? Do I just hit the Johnny with the spring-loaded saw blades? Why not? Take advantage of this situation while I can. The spring-loaded saw blades are probably not going to get a ton of value for me in the end, and we can save our bigger spell for a little bit later. We'll just grab the second Simulacrum and try to overwhelm them this way. What else do you got for me, Josh Murph? An Essence Channeler, not a big deal. Maybe they have a second Shelter by Ghost. Nope. So, do I go a little bit greedy and take some damage here? I could, well, I think we're doing this no matter what. Put out the Clayfire Bricks, go and grab a Plains. Good play. 5 mana, and I think I'm going to be a greedy boy. Make a construct, dig a little bit deeper. We grab, wow, that's crazy. Let's keep both, and we'll see what they do. This construct, I call them golems. Anytime I see something like it's just a golem. Everything that looks like this is a golem to me. I'll throw it in front of the Essence Channeler if they don't. Let's see. Let's attack. What do they do? What a bad position. So this kind of game, I think this is going to exemplify what you kind of see when you play this. You just see the opponents scoop it up right away. They see, I don't even, did I have a, shuffles it in. They just, you know, what are they going to do against this? I was wondering if that was repurposing day, if you're wondering what I was thinking. The position's so bad. Yeah, there it goes. So it's not really a fun thing when you go up against certain matchups. You just have such a massive stranglehold over certain archetypes that, you know, you just kind of get, it's not a non-game, but it's not a very interesting game in the end. But interesting or not, people want to win, and that's a thing. I had some comments lately, the idea of what's more important, playing a fun deck that you can be creative with, that you're going to enjoy the experience with, or is winning more important? That idea has come up a few times in the comments or among people talking in the Discord. We got a Discord, by the way. What a good segue into the Discord. If you want to jump into that and come say hi, the link is down in the description. You can join up there and chat about some Magic. But yeah, it brings up like an interesting point of what's more important to you. Is it winning, or do you just want to have a good time with a creative deck? And the thing is, like, I think a lot of us would say, oh, well, winning's not important. You know, winning's kind of important. Honestly, when you're losing, it kind of sucks. When you can't hit Mythic, you can't hit Diamond, whatever situation you're in, and you're just kind of like struggling to get something to work, it kind of feels bad, right? Like, in the end, we want to do well. We want to be performing well in the game. And to do that, you kind of have to have a competent deck. But sometimes, like, a deck feels so kind of oppressive, again, against certain archetypes. This deck is not the be-all, end-all of this game. I'm just doing this. Why not? Whoop. But, yeah. I don't know. I lost my point. I lost my train of thought there. You got to find a balance anyway. Sometimes you got to play the try-hard, sweaty deck. You got to win. You want to win. Sometimes it's just better to do something a little different. Play some creative decks. And I'm going to be playing more creative decks. This Angel's going to be a problem for me. I guess I'm going to have to tap it down constantly with the Braided Net as long as I can. Will prevent it from gaining more life here this turn, but once I get the Simulacrum online, it's going to start gaining them some life. Simulacrum's coming down this turn, so let's put out the Braided Net and just make sure they don't dome us too much. And man, I love this card. Is so cool, by the way. Drawing a card each turn. The fact that this can just trigger on your opponent's turn makes it so awesome, and that mixed with the authority of the consoles, very cool. So what are they going after, the Simulacrum or the Braided Net? Opponent wisely going after the Braided Net here. But we do have a repurposing bay to go and grab a second Braided Net. Probably is going to be the case here. Dang. Okay. They might actually outvalue us here. I just went on this big rant about how powerful this deck is against life gain, but I didn't account for the Exemplar of Light. Okay, we'll put out some more artifacts, get the Simulacrum up a little bit bigger. But the problem is that card draw. Oh boy. Let's... Yeah, I'm kind of looking at this now and thinking, hey, these golems might come in handy eventually. Oh, I got the Perilous Snare. Forgot about that card. Yeah. That's stupid. It was just, I wasn't thinking. Again, cold. I do have a lot of brain fog right now. This illness is beating me down. It's making sleeping hard. You guys know when you get sick, things just get a little bit rough. Now, unfortunately, I can't like wipe them out with the Pinnacle Star Cage and then swing in for a big attack here, because the Pinnacle Star Cage would get rid of my constructs here. So I think probably, what are we gonna do? We're gonna challenge them. We'll throw out the Cryogen Relic. Let's say I went and got my Fire Crystal right now. My Fire Crystal would make them lethal. They're gonna have to block a lot. This is not an artifact. But am I gonna die on the crackback? I don't think so. I think they'll only have to block one. They can let two through. And then so they will block whatever here, and I don't know why. I think it's fine. I'm sorry, opponent. Again, I think the brain fog is catching up with me. The brain fog's really catching up with me. I did the wrong thing. Oh, excuse me. Whatever. Okay, plan B. I guess I could have hit the Authority of the Consuls too there. All right, this is fine. This forces them to block with one. Okay. I appreciate it, Slip. I appreciate you just letting that one through, because I needed that. I think I really need to start the practice of putting a pen and paper beside me on my desk here, and I can mark down how many games I played. I think I played 3 games. Or 4 games. 4 games. We had the first one mono black, then we went up against the massive deck, the 240 card deck, or whatever number of cards it was, and then we did 2 mono white games. So we are on to number 5. We'll keep fighting through. I kind of like the starting town. I'm going to keep it. Starting town's pretty valuable because when you draw that Fire Crystal, it feels really bad just having it sit there in your hand. Our opponent is on to Vivi, by the looks of things. So we'll pass. We'll see if they attack in with this Engineer, and maybe we can get them with the loaded Saw Blade. They're definitely going to attack in with the Engineer now. Are they going to attack in for 3 or 4? Oh, they did not discard another thing. Let's get them. Get them, boys. There's no way they have a Spell Pierce, right? Okay. Engineer down. We might have to save this Snare for a future Vivi. Let's dig a little bit. Cryogen Relic. We don't have any of our great cards. Anything off the top, what is that card called? The Collected Company for us. I'm forgetting what it's called. Or we grab the Repurposing Bay, or we grab our Simulacrum Synthesizer is going to be perfectly good. We have all the kind of utility cards right now, and that's not where we want to be. Opponent putting out a Fear of Missing Out, kind of making me want to hit maybe the Star Cage. I could, it's a little bit risky to try to Saw Blade it, but this also thins my deck a little bit, gets another one in my hand. Yeah, let's try. Even if we take a little bit of damage, I think I'm okay with that. United Battlefront, I saw it there in my deck. That's what it's called. I could also sacrifice the Cryogen Relic and stun it for a little bit, but I think, well, maybe we'll see how it goes, especially if they get up to Delirium and if they trigger the Prof's Eidetic Memory a lot, which they are doing right now. That means they're going to get +3 tokens on 3 counters onto the Fear Missing Out. I think it's 3. If you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X counters on it, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn, -1. Okay, so they're going to be, yeah, putting +2 on it. +3 on it. It will be +3, because the -1 is your turn draw. Turn card draw whatever you want to say. And then Winter Night Stories gives them 3 cards. So that's pretty powerful. They don't hit Delirium, and now they are... Oh, put a stun counter on up to 1 tapped target creature. Oh, I thought it was you tap it. Huh. That sucks. Okay, so we're gonna take 6 damage here. That's fine. It's fine. It's still fine. Okay, we'll still stun it. If only stun like removed it from combat, that would be kind of a cool mechanic, wouldn't it? Maybe too powerful. Taking a bit of damage, okay. We hit Braided Net, Braided Net, Braided Net Tribal, and that's a big old bad problem. So now, what do I do? Just maybe throw out a Braided Net and go from there, or maybe I Perilous Snare on that, but I think I need to Perilous Snare on the VV once it comes out. Okay, we'll just throw it out onto the field for the sake of having it on the field, and hopefully not die to VV. I think we're kind of dying to a bad draw here, seeing too much utility. Then again, 1 United Battlefront really blows it out. Even just getting 1 Repurposing Bay gives you so much ability to really go ham. But they now are going to do the VV stuff. Let's talk about VV. Why not? We got a little bit of time. They're going to be doing a ton of mana stuff for the foreseeable future. Maybe I should have gotten rid of the fear of missing out, knowing that they probably had the Agatha's Soul Cauldron and they were going to be able to generate 8 mana this turn, 9 mana total. That's on me. But Wizards kind of came out, I think. I don't know if it was Wizards directly or if it was like a representative. I'm not sure who made the post. I'll pop it up. But essentially they said that it seemed like they want to stick to the ban window as it is. So they don't want to do an emergency ban to get rid of Agatha's Soul Cauldron or get rid of VV. They're just kind of happy with where things are right now. And yeah, they're going to leave it. So I haven't played best of 3 for a long time because I don't want the headache of going up against the VV deck. Some people maybe enjoy this matchup, but like I don't. When I play cards, especially when I play like EDH with friends, I play my turns fast. I'm not looking to sit here playing like optimally. I want the table to be moving. And you know, sometimes you get those people that they just consider every single line and it takes them like 20 minutes to play a turn. That's not good for a 4 or 5 player EDH game. And it's not really good when you're playing against a person online. Am I going to sit here, keep clicking okay for the next 6 minutes for my opponent to just use way more mana than they should be able to generate? That's kind of where my head's at with that kind of stuff. All that being said, though, like, is it really too oppressive, too powerful? I don't know. I haven't played against VV enough because I've been avoiding best of 1, or best of 3 rather. So my experience with the VV deck, because best of 1 doesn't really play too much, it's pretty limited. Is it too powerful? Is the question, and I'd love to hear some of your comments. What do you think Wizards should do? I'm sure a lot of people just want it gone. Just get rid of Soul Cauldron, leave VV. VV's powerful, but he's kind of a cool card. Just get rid of Soul Cauldron. This is not a fun card. It's not conducive to entertainment, we'll say. So the opponent has done a lot. I don't know. I was rambling for quite a while there. I really wonder. Maybe I'll start like a timer and see how long their turn actually was there. Don't put it on the Riddler. Don't put it on the Riddler. Don't put it on the Riddler. Oh, they still have more mana. So they're actually still generating 9 mana this turn if they want to. Isn't that fun? Second main phase. Maybe I should have gotten rid of the memory. I think I'm definitely going to have a timer going on the bottom of this one. Engineer, making a 4/4. They're using all their mana to the best of their ability. Okie doke. That was cool. That was a lot of stuff. The opponent did a lot. They still don't have Delirium, amazingly. So we do not get a card that works with the Pinnacle Starcage, but guess what? Pinnacle Starcage is pretty good right here. Bye-bye board. So I've just sent us all back to the Middle Ages. Cool. Should I just get rid of the profs while I have the Perilous Snare? Why not? This prevents them from putting out something this turn and kind of going again, making a big creature. We'll just do that. So I guess what I like, the Perilous, or sorry, the Braided Net, I haven't really thought about doing this too much, but the Braided, okay. The Braided Net allows us to tap something, and then that gives us the ability to do the Spring-Loaded Saw Blades or the Cryogen Relic. At this point, do I want to suffer through this? You know what? I think I'm kind of good. You can call it what it is, like scooping too early, absolutely. I just don't want to sit through an opponent doing like another 8-minute turn. That's what it comes down to. Let's move on with our lives. All right, game number 6. We'll put the VV game behind us. And again, I just don't want to sit through it. That's it. That's what it comes down to. Hey, we got the 3 cards that were completely absent from our hand last turn, but we don't have anything playable on turn 2. Just turn 2. No, poor life gain. Only 1 CMC stuff. No 1 CMC stuff in the deck. Hey, that's a good draw, though. That gives us our turn 2 play. That's another decent draw. Yeah, we'll keep that for the repurposing bay. We want stuff to be able to sacrifice. So probably next turn, starting town into the relic, into, we'll see what they're up to. Or I could try to kill the Pridemate. They are down to 3 cards. I think it's probably fine. They're going to generate some mana. It's pretty cool to see Orzhov. Orzhov life gain. I wonder what the Orzhov is giving them. Okay. And they got their Scoured Barons. So, Sawblade comes out. Boop, boop. Get rid of that real nice and quickly. And then I guess we go the Simulacrum route. We want to find a land on the top so that we can go United Battlefront next turn. We do not find lands. We find Land Maker, but I would rather try to top deck a land. If I don't top deck a land, we go out with the Repurposing Bay as the backup plan. So we got some choices here. I don't know how worried I should be about the authority of the consoles. It kind of is annoying. Maybe I'll Perilous Snare it at some point in the future. But for now, not such a big deal. I think Perilous Snare on this. Oh, that's not going to work. Healer's Hawk. We need to draw some more lands. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, now we're on to the Repurposing Bay on the Spring-Loaded Sawblade to go get a Star Cage. And then we go from there. Aerith is a 3 CMC card, but they are out of cards. So she's going to grow. But we will get... Do I play it safe or do I play it greedy? I think I play it safe, right? Okay. We'll do the safe thing. This will also set up the top of my deck to give me maybe something good to hit off the United Battlefront. Okay, so that's a Braided Net, so I could keep... do I don't know. Yeah, sure. We'll do that. But I'm going to draw that anyway, so I'll draw the Braided Net. But it's a good card to have in hand. So we get our land, we get that. We'll probably United Battlefront over the next 2 turns. And I think the opponent, even if they draw a good card, probably is going to have a hard time with what's happening right now. They're up to 30, and we are down to 13, though. So I do kind of need to hit well. No, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, talk about not hitting well. Okay, still, we get 1 synthesizer, and we'll be able to tap something down with the Braided Net. So we're not going to take infinite damage here. They're not going to be able to kill us this turn. But that was not our best hit. What did they draw? They drew a Sheltered by Ghost. That's a pretty good hit. So they're going to go after, I don't know, Simulacrum? Surely not a Relic. They go after the Braided Net. and I think that's an appropriate target for the opponent. They are going to get in for 8 damage here, grow the Pridemate. So actually, I need to be a little bit careful here. They left me with the Synthesizer, though. So, it's just, yeah, I mean, this is boring, but this is what it is. So we hit the Aerith, we pay the extra 2 for the ward, we make a Simulacrum, which is going to come in tapped, gain them a little bit of life, but we will get the Braided Snare back for the Ajani's Pridemate, so we'll be able to keep it under control at the very least. It makes another construct, and I think we're pretty much set up, barring some I mean, it's safe to attack here, right? Why not? Get them down to 35. The opponent doing well. And then next turn, there's so many things that we can do next turn. Probably, oh. I'm sick, guys. Guys, I'm sick. That was a win. That was a... All right, game number 7. I'm reaching the limit of my capabilities at this point. Of course, that last game, we would have tapped down the Ajani had we used our big old brain, and then we would have been able to play out the Perilous Snare to hit the Authority of the Consuls, and then I think we could have put out the Fire Crystal with the Repurposing Bay, and I think that would have given us enough damage to wipe out the opponent. Oh, this is horrible. Oh no, things are just going real bad for us now. Okay, we keep the Star Cage and we keep the Repurposing Bay, and then we pray that we hit... We can't even play the... Actually, we can't play it. Okay, let's do this way. That way... I mean, the Repurposing Bay can still get us a Star Cage later on. Okay, Bushwhack to go get a forest for our opponent. Our opponent may be on landfall. We haven't seen landfall all day. Oop, put it the wrong land. That was a weird click. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably fine. Okay, so now we need a fourth land is what we want. Probably next turn, Perilous Snare. Do I want to take the risk of trying to hit the Bristly Bill, or do they have Snakeskin Veil? Sounded nice, didn't it? Play out a Chocobo. No, they don't play out a Chocobo. So, I guess they don't always have the Snakeskin Veil, do they? Oh, okay, good. Maybe they have a second Bristly Bill, though, to follow it up. Next turn, land, obviously, the best thing, but maybe we'll just have to go out with the Repurposing Bay. Mossborn Hydra's gonna be a problem. It's already up to 4 mana, and now we need a Perilous Snare, or we're doomed. We need a land as well. So, what do I go out with the Cryogen Relic instead? And try to draw into a third. I think that's my best bet. I need to hit a land here. Absolutely need to hit a land. Untapped land would be better. Great. great. It's not the worst draw. I suppose it can keep the Mossborn Hydra under control, but do they not have a land? We got our opening. That's crazy. Okay. Sawblades come in, dome the Hydra, which would have been a disaster for us. And they got the Traveling Chocobo now. Putting out lands, they're going to be generating quite a few Ride the Shoepuff triggers, and they're going to be hitting us for 3 at least this turn. They can actually, no, they're going to hit us for a lot more. Ooh, Jiminy. If they just load up the Ice Tail, could they just kill us? This is another 2, another 2. No, they would have had 8 damage. That's pretty good, though. So now what do I do? I guess it's going to be land and hope the United Battlefront is the best United Battlefront I've ever done. But they have a 3 and a 4 CMC creature, so even then I think it's going to be pretty rough. Honestly, this game, this one just didn't go our way. Mulligan down to 4. and pretty rough. So I guess in the end we go 4-3. I think it's 5-2. One of the losses being against a bad variants, like there's just no land suddenly in the deck. So what can you really do when that happens? And then come on, that life gain deck, give it to me. Come on, are you gonna give it to me, or are you gonna take it from me? And then the VV game, whatever, VV game, I was not going to suffer through that. So in the end, the synthesizer deck, it's powerful. If you spend time learning this deck and you don't play it like an idiot because you're sitting here talking into a camera to yourself or delirious from whatever's going on in my head, you'll probably do a little bit better. The deck is obviously cracked, right? What can you say? Okie dokie, so Jeskai Artifacts, it is what it is. It's you know what, I actually don't mind playing it. I just think it's kind of like one of the big bads of the best of one format right now, and therefore it has a bit of a reputation as kind of a cheesy deck. But it's fun, it's powerful. I think there are lines that are actually more complicated than you might give it credit for, but you could just brain dead pilot it and do all right. And as long as you're not clicking through your go to combat phase and you make sure that you are stopping your opponent's big attackers with your braided net, you should be able to pick up a few wins. Now, as far as the deck goes, I think this is pretty much the agreed upon build of the deck. I have seen slight variations, including things like the Enigma Jewel. Some people are throwing this card in. We'll do it like this. I guess we'll throw it over here. Enigma Jewel, sure, it's a really cool one because it's a 1 CMC spell. We don't have many 1 CMC cards. This will allow us to sacrifice it if we really need to maybe go and grab one of our 2s. It's possible. But more importantly, add 2 colorless mana, spend this mana only to activate abilities. That allows you to activate the Repurposing Bay with the Enigma Jewel. Kind of a neat little thing. I guess it also allows you to flip the crafts. I think it works with them. Authority of the Consuls, another powerful one. We saw it a lot in the matchup. Several decks were bringing in Authority of the Consuls against us, and it really could hose your opponent, especially if you go up against the Mirror. I think in that case, it kind of might be a rush to see whoever gets the Fire Crystal out first with enough of a board. And if you have an Authority of Consuls on the field, you can really slow down your opponent from doing that. This is a card that I think was seeing play in the deck pre-Edge of Eternities. It is a very similar card to our Perilous Snare. So this one says, when it enters, exile up to 1 target creature until the equipment leaves the battlefield. Whenever this equipment becomes attached to a creature, for as long as this equipment remains attached to it, this creature becomes a copy of creature card exiled with the equipment. So, yeah, it has some application, but being limited to only hitting creatures, I don't know. Plus, it's a mythic. I don't see it being played, but it was something worth mentioning. And then some people are also playing a couple of copies, 1, maybe 2 copies of Tezzeret Cruel Crafton. The thing is about this one is -3. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less, reveal and put it in your hand. You don't have those, right? Unless you are playing the Enigma Jewel. So you would have to craft your deck in a specific way to really benefit from the Tezzeret. Of course, getting a lot of loyalty, doing his ultimate for -7, or even the 0 to untap an artifact or creature, untapping your Repurposing Bay could be pretty powerful. So yeah, I could see some people running him. Also, maybe it's just a fun card you want to play with something new from Edge of Eternities, but I think the base deck is probably where you'll find the most success. How do you beat the deck? I don't know. That was kind of what I came into this video thinking, but at this point, I'll be honest, I can't think anymore. My brain is toast. So we're going to end it with that. If you have some advice for other people looking for ways to beat this deck, do leave comments about that. If you guys could continue to help me grow, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We're seeing some really good growth. We're nearing 800 already, so that's cool. On the track to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, hopefully. And then, of course, just comment, say hello if that's all you got. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll be on to some creative stuff following this video, probably with a little bit of Cosmogoyf. If you made it this far in the video, I'm pretty sure that might be where my attention's going next. So look forward to that. Take care for now, enjoy your weekend, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.